Welcome to the second bite-sized battle report. I'm once again using 600 points worth of Goblin Town and Denizens of Mirkwood against my brother Sebastian's list here. He's taking Beornings this time. This is in preparation for an upcoming GBHL tournament, which is 600 points. You roll for 3 scenarios, so the random scenarios, and then there's a roll-off, and the loser gets to veto first. The winner then vetoes, and then the third scenario is the one you go with. So in this case we had Seize the Prize, Storm the Camp and Lords of Battle. Sebastian, my brother, lost the roll-off and chose to veto Storm the Camp. Naturally my goblins aren't too keen on Lords of Battle, so I vetoed that one, which leaves us with Seize the Prize. So we'll move on to the lists now. 600 points again of Goblin Town and Denizens of Mirkwood. We've got the Goblin King with 18 dudes, a Goblin Merchant Captain with 7 dudes, a Grinner with 12 dudes, and a Goblin Captain with 12 dudes. And then at the end we've got a Spider Queen, which once again I'm trying out. Last time she ran away immediately and got no kills, but somehow won me the game, so we will see how that goes.
Hi guys, so today I brought Beornings. It's the first time I've ever used them. Very straightforward, it's the Legendary Legion. We've got Beorn leading 5 Beornings, 2 of them have a bow and the other 3 are just as normal. And then we've got his son Beorn leading 1 archer and 4 guys with axes.
Yep, and the converted Beorn here is just insane. Look at all that fur. So nice, really well done.
Thank you.
And I'm loving the kind of snowy Viking vibe. They're all really nice. So after deployment, the Beornings decided to deploy over here with the definitely deliberate rule about bear transform, where Beorn gets an extra 2 inches of movement because he transforms into a bear. He can reach the objective, and for my dudes over here, the bat swarm, assuming I do a march, can also make it to the objective. So we're pretty sure the game's going to come down to a move off at turn 1 pretty much. And my mercenaries are chilling over here, waiting to outflank. That may or may not prove useful, we will see. So we're going to roll off for turn 1. So Grim Beorn has called a heroic move after losing priority, and the captain over here has called a march, and Grinner has called a move. So it's a move off, surprise, surprise. Obviously we have good and evil, so 4 up. The Beornings have the move. There's a 2, so the goblins have it, and we'll see what happens after movement. So we're at a pivotal moment. The goblins obviously won the move off. First, Grinner moved because he's calling the move, and then the captain moved because he's calling a march and at the double, which meant the bat could then move more than 12 inches to here. He's just touching the objective, so even if he doesn't pick it up this turn, the bears won't be able to come within an inch of the bat and therefore won't be able to touch the objective. Everything else will move after, but this is the important one. So on a 4+, the bat will pick up the objective. It's a 6.
Boo.
Boo. Okay, so the bat has the objective. So the bat has grabbed the objective, all the goblins are coming up as well, and Grimbeorn and Beorn are ready to absolutely eat that bat alive if he loses the next move off. And in this light you can see how bloody cool the fur on Beorn is. He just looks so much bigger than Grimbeorn in like a good way.
You fat.
He's thick. Yes, so we'll be moving on to the next turn. As you might have expected, it's come down to a move off. Goblins have won priority, so yet again I'm going to use the same die. Is that bad luck? Is it good luck? Who knows? There's only one way to find out. good win on a 4+. Let's see if the bears get the bats. It's a 4, so the good win this time. And let's see what happens. Bjorn has moved into the middle with his heroic move, but is not calling with me. There was an interesting problem with the centre of the board where they put a little marker down that isn't in the centre of the board at all. So we've had to move the Beornings backwards an inch, and the Goblin Town are now going to take their heroic move and normal move before the Beornings response. Yeah, so this game is pretty intense at the beginning, the complete opposite of the first game we played. Essentially what's happened is all the goblins have obviously moved up. Then the Beornings kind of countercharge. They're creating this weird shape. I suppose we're both kind of making a weird shape. Unfortunately, I left a goblin over here in charge range of a Beorning, so he was able to get charged, taking his control zone away. And then Grimbeorn has charged these two models here. He's now calling a heroic combat because he can fit his base in to charge the bat, which will leave it a one-on-one between a bear and a bat and a bear and a spider, which isn't ideal for me. So what I'm doing in response is calling a heroic combat with the Spider Queen in the hopes that at least they go first and can force Grimbeorn to go back as opposed to it being two one-on-ones. Regardless, I think the spider's going to get eaten by Grimbeorn over there, so we will see. I'm going to roll now, I suppose. So 4 up, it's my priority, isn't it? 4 up, the bears will go first. Okay, so the Spider Queen will go first. Let's see what happens. So we're going to do the fight between the Spider Queen and Bjorn first with the bats. So the Spider Queen has 2 mites and Grimbeorn has 3 mites, but he...
Beorn.
Sorry, Beorn.
He's got 2.
Oh, he's got 2 mites. But the Queen is high fight 6, because the bat halves the fights of Bjorn. So...
Shall I go first?
Sebastian's going to set the bar.
Sets out of 5. There's
5
multiple
high,
to 6.
so he could might it to a 6. So this will be for the Queen. Hopefully she'll get something decent. A 6.
Nice.
So the Queen wins it.
Yeah, all yours.
Mine. So the Queen, who is strength high, it's going to try and wound you. She's re-rolling these because of her thing.
Oof.
Oh my word.
Hang on.
What strength is she?
She is strength 6, so she's still... Ooh. I can't remember if she
Defense
needs
8.
5s.
We're going to get back and see what that amounts to.
I think she does.
So with 3 wounds from the Spider Queen, we're going to do some bear saves. Those beautifully balanced bear saves.
Bear saves.
Wow.
Yay.
So, okay. So, Fate.
Yep, fate.
3 wounds. One at a time. He's got all his... Oh, he's got 2 might. Ooh. Well,
No.
you're not going to might that. Okay. Next roll. Are you going to might that one?
Yeah.
He's going to might that one, guys.
So dumb.
Okay. So
I will just take the other one.
he'll just take the other wound. So he's still
So-
on 1 fate, 1 might.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So I burnt 2 fate and only passed 1, so I will take 2 wounds.
2 wounds. So he's on 1 wounds, 1 might, and 1 fate. So fortunately for Sebastian, Grimbeorn killed the Goblin Captain and Goblin just about, and has now charged the Bat Swarm. So they're now vying for the objective. So I'm going to set the bar for him, my 2 attacks. So it's a 4 high.
6.
Yep, 6 will do it. And
So
then he gets 8 attacks for knocking me down,
yeah,
which
strength
is
8.
totally balanced. Strength 8, so what? 3s, yeah. 4 3s will do it.
Yep.
Yep. So the bat is dead.
And Grimbeorn has the prize.
Grimbeorn has the prize. Let's just award him the prize. There we go. Lovely.
Magical band.
Wonderful. So this is the end of the move phase, and boy, is it a weird game. I managed to charge the King, the Spider Queen, and Grinner into Grimbeorn, The Spider Queen has now lost all of her will due to passing terror tests from the first and second time she had to do them. My mercenary came in over here, and classically I left the mercenary captain way out in front. Fortunately though, he wasn't quite in charge range, so the Beornings that were here have moved up over there. There's a couple of stragglers here just holding the line. Sebastian really wanted to prevent the bears getting surrounded next turn from the mercenaries. Not sure if it would have been better to just charge my line, I'm not really sure, but we're going to move on to combat now. I'm obviously going to be striking with Grinner. Are you planning to do anything, Sebastian?
I'm going to do a heroic defense.
Heroic defense with Grimbeorn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how that goes in a second. So, as I've just realised, obviously striking with Grinner against a bear probably isn't going to give me the best odds of becoming a higher strike value, fight value. So, Sebastian's graciously allowed me to take that back, and instead I will be striking with the king. So he goes from fight 6 to anything but a 1 or a 2, a 6. So fight 10 for the king. Would you like to set the bar for me?
Yeah,
So
sure.
you're rolling 3 attacks.
Oh yeah,
Because I
you
charge.
you charge me, sorry. 6.
So it's a 6. So I'll roll for the king first. King's on a 5, so it's mightable. I'll roll 3 dice for the Spider Queen. She's also on a 5. And then Grinner, I will just take these 2 dice. Grinner's finally got the 6, so they will win that. And of course I need nat 6s because of the heroic defense from Grimbeorn. So I can't might these, can I, to a 6, because that wouldn't be a natural 6. So the king needing nat 6s. No, nothing there. And the queen needing nat 6s, re-rolling because of venom. So that's 2. And re-roll. No. And then Grinner probably needs worse than 6s, something ridiculous. Not that though. So let's see if the bear saves can come in handy this time. Well, hey, look at that. Totally balanced. Very good. So the bear will back away there. Now, Bjorn is the only one from the Beorning side with any might left. So we will see what happens with the rest of the fights and come back at the end of the turn. Okay, so, well, as expected, the goblins that I threw into here to die died. Goblin here died. The Beorning who charged this randomer and his captain support got killed. I needed a 6 with 1 dice and a 5 with the other, and I got both. Oh no, a 4 with 1 dice and a 5 with the other, and got both. And Bjorn over here rolled a 5 high against the Goblin's 6, and Sebastian decided not to use his might to win the combat, which was probably the right decision. However, Goblins then rolled a 6 to wound the 2 that were piercing striking at the front. So 6 to wound. So we've got a bear save to come, followed by a fate with a might. I think you can might the bear save as well. So let's see. That's a 2. So he has to might that fate. So bears are out of might. Sebastian's muttering to himself. No might on the bears.
1 wound on Bjorn, no fate.
1 wound on Bjorn, no fate remaining.
Gonna die to Grinner, this throw weapon.
Oh yeah, that could be interesting. At the end of the move phase, and as you can see, yet again, the Goblin King, Spider and Grinner all got into Grimbeorn, but the King had to use a will, I believe, to get in. And obviously the Spider Queen is already out of will. So, fortunately I have 1 more turn in combat, I reckon, and then people are going to start failing to charge in. Over here, I think I only got 1 guy into Bjorn, so a little bit worrying there. And over here we're getting some traps. Mercenary managed to come round to trap Grimbeorn, so hopefully that will seal the deal there, but we will see. So obviously the bears are out of might, so the Goblin King has decided to strike. Hopefully he will go at least, I basically need a 2, don't I, to become higher fights. That leaves Grinner on 2 might, 1 might.
Well, he's on 1 might.
So so all 3 of these heroes are on 1 might now. So that should give me enough to win the combat, assuming I can roll higher than a 1. Oh no, it went off the table. Okay, let's try again. Just keeping your anticipation here.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Is it a 2? It's a 2. I was panicking there because it's very hard to see those.
It was very hard to see.
So, Grimbeorn, do you want to roll your 3 dice?
3 dice with no mites.
3 dice with no mites.
6.
6 high.
That's lucky.
That is pretty good. So King
Nice.
gets the 6. So he is trapped now because of this mercenary. So the King is strength 6, needs 5s. No, strength 6 needs
200.
4 to 2 ending. Strength 6, defense 8 is
5.
It is 5. So 4s. This feels wrong. 4s for the Goblin King. So that's 5 wounds. Do you want to start with that?
Well, why don't you just do how many
Bear
wounds
saves.
and then I can roll bear saves in one go.
Because I might want to might it later.
Okay.
Because I'm a power gamer. So 5 bear saves. 2 saves. 3 go through. Fate rolls.
Pass 1. Fail.
Pass 1, fail 2. So he's on 1 wound. The Spider Queen will need 5 re-rolling. That's right, isn't it? He's on 1 wound, so basically any 5 up and 2.
As long as I don't pass all my bears.
Oh yeah, the bear saves. Keep forgetting about those. So I re-roll these. Might as well do it now. So 3 wounds. So bear saves, and he's fine.
No. Triple 1.
Triple 1. Okay.
No! God, please, no! No!
That's what we like to see.
So the queen now has the prize.
The Queen now has the prize. Let's just transfer that over there. And remove this beautiful bear. There he is. And we'll do the rest of the combats and come back at the end of the turn. So at the end of this turn, quite a lot of goblins died, mostly to a Beorning who won the combat and then killed 2 dudes. Bjorn managed to barge a guy out of the way, charge Grinner and kill him, which leaves a nice little gap to charge the Spider Queen next turn. But I'll probably end up doing a move off and winning because the bears don't have any mites. Lack of might, small problem for the bears. So we'll go on to next turn priority.
6.
A 6. Wait, can I even win?
You
You had it last time.
I had it last time.
I can win. I rolled a 1.
Any heroics?
I'm going to do a move.
With?
Literally anyone.
Well, probably not the Spider Queen or the Goblin King, I recommend.
Okay, well,
So,
my
only your
captain's
captain.
in a bit of a tight spot, so I'll have a think and we'll come back to you, viewer. So the Goblin King is doing a heroic move, and he's going to do his courage test with 1 will left to charge Bjorn. Come on, lad. Oh, a 4 and a 2. He fails. 6, courage 3.
Use your will.
Yes, I will use a will. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm actually going to squish this guy and end my move there. And then the Spider Queen is going to move. If I want to move, so she's not going to end up charging because I don't want to have to do a terror check with her. So she's just going to run away. Oh, she's only move 6, so she's going to go to there. And then the rest of my guys are going to all move into place, and hopefully there'll be no way of her dying, but we'll see. This is the beginning of combat. The Spider Queen has made it out. I thought it'd be better to hold on to the objective and stay well away from the combat than risk failing a courage and then not pulling off the thing to someone else and getting charged and dying horribly. So everything's in combat now. We're going to do all the Beornings because it's Sebastian's priority, and then we're going to do Beorn at the end. So that was an interesting round of combat. We still got Beorn to go. Sebastian won every fight apart from one or two. Which I failed to wound with. However, Sebastian killed 10 models, despite the number of Beornings he has left, because pretty much all of them who could have killed 2 did. Of course, they need 4s, but
some need 3s.
Some need 3s, and with 2 dice, you're pretty much killing 2 goblins every time. So, I'm currently 1 off breaking, it turns out. So if he wins this and kills a guy, he'll broken me, which will definitely help his chances. So we're going to do Beorn now. Beorn is high fight, so Sebastian's going to set the bar with his 3 dice. He gets a 6. He wins the combat.
Oh, close.
There's a 5 high, but there's still a good chance that I completely whiff. So we're going to do the king first, not that it matters because no one has any knights. That was pretty bad. Then we'll do the mercenary captain who has a knight. That won't do it either. And then I've got 6 goblins. Statistically, I should get 6 here.
You jinxed it now.
I jinxed it.
You got a 6. Yeah. 1 6.
1 6. So, I don't think he's actually trapped, by the way. I'm not sure how that's happened, but I don't think he's trapped. However, he's on 1 wound, no fate.
Just bear saves.
Just bear saves. So the king needs 4s.
Yep.
With 3 dice. That's 3 wounds. Why don't you do that one first? 3 bear saves, 1 at a time.
Passes. Second one. Definitely passes.
So he fails that one, and Beorn has been taken out by the Goblin King. And that'll be the last turn. Right, so we just worked it out, and actually it was a lot closer than I thought it was. I only get 3 points for having the objective. I thought it might be 7, but that's only if you take it off your opponent's board edge. And I'm not even in my opponent's half. So instead of 7 or 5, I have 3 for that. And if Sebastian had broken me in that last turn, because he's unbroken, he would have got 3 points. But of course, I have killed Beorn, which gives me 2 points. So if Beorn had won that last combat and rolled a 6 instead of a 5, it would have been a drawn game, which is pretty cool, considering I managed to kill both bears.
Yeah, it's a pretty good feat killing both bears. I think I don't think I've seen anyone kill 2 bears in one game.
Well, despite playing, because we played Goblin Town at the doubles, of course, and we played bears twice and only killed 1 bear in total. I think the Spider Queen, because I got my ganks off basically. I got the Spider Queen in with the King and Grinner, plenty of might to do everything I needed to, struck up.
Yeah, but also in the first couple of turns with Beorn, you had the Bat Swarm in that fight as well, so you almost one-shot Beorn with the Queen and Bat Swarm, so you didn't even need to strike up in that situation. And
I did get quite lucky at the beginning with winning the first move off and digging up the objective. So, a lot went my way that game. I think I probably could have tried controlling the game a bit more based on, if I'd actually read the scenario. But overall, good game, and the Beornings themselves are really good, regardless of the bears. Yeah. Maybe it's just because I was losing combats and my defense is shit.
I was also rolling a lot of 6s, so we sped up a lot of time by me just rolling 3 dice to begin with instead of re-rolling.
Yeah. And
I was getting a lot of 6s, and even when I wasn't getting 6s, you were not matching the 6. You were just getting 4s or 5s.
Yeah.
So still win on fight value.
Yeah, my rolls weren't great, but they seemed to come out when it mattered for the most part. So yes, a good game. Thanks all for watching, and see you next time. If you've enjoyed this battle report, please feel free to drop us a like and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. We do a weekly podcast where we cover Middle-earth SBG as well as other games. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.